was it like to raise this young man?
Easy. Easy as pie.
Reporting that Malcolm-Jamal Warner, probably best known for his role on The Cosby Show, has died.
He was the heart of a generation, the lovable Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. But now, fans around the world are reeling after the unthinkable happened. Malcolm-Jamal Warner is gone, his life tragically cut short in the waters of Costa Rica. And now, nearly 3 weeks later, his mother has broken her silence with a message that will shatter your heart. A tragic afternoon in Costa Rica. On a quiet Sunday afternoon in Limon, Costa Rica, what should have been a peaceful vacation turned into a devastating tragedy. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, age 54, was swimming in the Caribbean Sea when he and a companion were suddenly caught in a powerful rip current, a dangerous phenomenon common in the region. Local responders say they received an urgent call from bystanders who witnessed the two men struggling in the surf. Costa Rica's Red Cross arrived swiftly at the scene. 2 men had already been pulled from the water. One was in critical condition. The other, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, had no pulse. Despite immediate efforts by rescuers, Warner could not be revived. The official cause of death was confirmed as asphyxiation by submersion, in other words, drowning. The incident shook not only the people at the beach that day, but fans across the world. His mother speaks out. After weeks of silence, Malcolm's mother, Pamela Warner, finally shared a heartbreaking message on social media. Writing on Instagram, she said, "Needless to say, our hearts are heavy with the loss of Malcolm. He was a kind, loving man with a huge heart for humanity. He wanted all to be aware of their inner strength." Her message, brief but deeply emotional, echoed what fans had felt all along, that Malcolm was more than a beloved actor. He was a gentle, powerful soul who brought light into the world. The Cosby Show legacy. For 8 unforgettable seasons, Malcolm-Jamal Warner played Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, the youngest son in America's most famous TV family. Airing from 1984 to 1992, the series broke cultural ground and helped define a new era of representation for Black families on television. Theo was smart, funny, sometimes rebellious, but always lovable. Warner's chemistry with his castmates made the show a cultural icon, and his performance earned him an Emmy nomination at just 16 years old. His role wasn't just entertaining, it was empowering, showing millions of kids that they too could grow up to achieve their dreams. Fans and celebrities react. The outpouring of grief in the days following Warner's death was overwhelming. Social media lit up with tributes. One of the most emotional came from actress Tracee Ellis Ross, who once played Warner's on-screen wife. She wrote, "You were my first TV husband. My heart is so sad. You made the world a brighter place." Fans shared old clips, memorable lines, and warm stories of how Warner's character had impacted their childhoods. For many, Theo Huxtable felt like family. Losing him was personal, a glimpse into his final days. Before his passing, Malcolm had shared a touching video with fans on social media. In the clip,
That's all I got. Listen to love because it's been a minute. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
a flower given to him by his daughter was tucked behind his ear. With a smile, he said, "Just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile." The video has since gone viral, a haunting reminder of the gentle, grateful man Warner had become. It's a final moment of peace that his fans will forever hold on to. What really happened that day. The beach in Limon, where Warner drowned, is known for its powerful rip currents. Authorities have warned visitors in the past about the unpredictable nature of the water in that region.
You can see some warning signs for people who are coming to enjoy the day here. It says corrientes de resaca todo el año. Basically warning people there is a current here throughout the year. You can see there are warnings for surfers, there's warnings about wave conditions.
According to a statement given to People magazine, the police said it was at the moment that they were swept away by the current and the friend managed to get out. However, Mr. Warner was unable to get out and was pulled out by several people on the beach. The second man, whose identity hasn't been revealed publicly, survived but was listed in critical condition. Officials say that despite the danger, Warner tried to remain calm. Bystanders attempted to help him, but by the time help arrived, it was too late. His body was transported to a facility just outside San Jose, where an autopsy was performed to confirm the cause of death. The world he left behind, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, was not just an actor. He was a poet, a musician, a director, and a father. He leaves behind a loving wife and a young daughter, both of whom he often spoke about in interviews with pride and affection. His career extended well beyond The Cosby Show, with memorable roles in shows like Read Between the Lines, Sons of Anarchy, and The Resident. He also released several spoken word and jazz albums, blending his love for rhythm, storytelling, and black culture. More than that, Malcolm was a mentor, helping young actors navigate Hollywood with dignity and focus. He was known in the industry not only for his talent, but for his humility and kindness. The grief of a mother. Pamela Warner's statement wasn't long, but its depth was impossible to miss. To lose a child is every parent's worst nightmare. For Pamela, it wasn't just the death of a famous actor. It was the loss of her son, her baby boy, the child she watched grow from a quiet, thoughtful kid into a global television star. Her words, he wanted all to be aware of their inner strength, reflect the legacy he carried even off-screen. Malcolm believed in lifting others up, in finding hope amid struggle, and in inspiring through love. The cultural impact. Malcolm's sudden death doesn't just mark the end of a life, it marks the loss of a cultural icon. The Cosby Show represented progress. It showed a black family not as a stereotype, but as loving, educated, and complex. Malcolm, as Theo, was a key part of that shift. To this day, reruns of the show play in homes across the world. And each time Theo flashes that charming grin or offers a witty comeback, a piece of Warner's spirit lives on. The dangers of rip currents. This tragedy also highlights the real and often overlooked dangers of ocean swimming. Rip currents can form in seconds and overpower even the strongest swimmers. In Costa Rica, these currents are especially dangerous during certain seasons. Authorities continue to urge tourists to swim only in designated safe areas and to heed warnings from local guides and lifeguards. Sadly, for Warner, a beloved father and actor, the warning came too late. Final moments, lasting legacy. Warner's final public moments. Smiling, wearing a flower from his daughter, encouraging the world to find joy, are now etched into the hearts of millions. In a time when celebrity often means controversy or chaos, Malcolm-Jamal Warner stood for something else. Grace, humility, and purpose. Even in his final message to the world, he reminded us of something we too often forget: to smile. Even through pain, Malcolm-Jamal Warner is gone, but his light will never fade. From the small screen to the big stage, from poetry to parenthood, he touched countless lives with his heart, his voice, and his truth. His mother's message reminds us that even in death, his spirit lives on. In the smiles of his fans, the love of his family, and the legacy of his work. Rest in peace, Malcolm. Thank you for the laughter, the lessons, and the love. You will never be forgotten.